You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace. Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 30 of Nice-ish. I'm Cindy, and I'm here with my co-host, Grace. Grace, how are you?
I'm good. You know, this week we had kind of heard that Vanderpump Rules was done.
Yes.
And that it was not going to continue with the current cast.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking, too, about the earlier seasons of the show. And I thought, you know, what other reality type shows could we have based in this type of format? And so we started talking about it. And I actually think that we came up with some pretty good ideas.
Well, we also came up with the idea because we were in two separate stores where we heard the employees talking a lot of shit and gossiping.
Yes.
And I was fascinated.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm still wondering, you know, what happened.
Exactly. And the fact that you're wondering means that there is a story there that could be covered.
Yes. And then you sent me a text that said, I don't care about celebrity gossip. Give me small scale gossip. I want to know why the night shift employees at Kohl's are mad at each other.
I love that photo. I've had that photo on my phone for forever. And then not only did the Vanderpump Rules thing make me think of that, but then hearing this in the two stores we went in, I was like, okay, this is popping up. So I sent it to you and I was like, this was us. This was us today.
So we were in the car discussing where we could have spinoffs, what type of stores, what type of shops, and we actually were coming up with names. This is what we do with our spare time. Mm-hmm. And we really think we have something that could do very well on Bravo.
Yes. We are thinking that the show Going Postal, which is about all of the post office workers and their jobs and how they interact with people.
Yeah.
And the mail. The mail is a crazier place than you would think it would be. So we were waiting in line, and Mom, we were talking, and I was kind of looking at you, and you were looking at me like, be quiet. We want to hear what's going on.
Because something's about to go down. Yes. You kind of nudged me. So I start listening, and there's two girls that we see there all the time. Another guy, too, but Katie and Susie are kind of like our girls. We love them. They're super friendly. Mm-hmm. And this lady was talking to Katie. She was very short-tempered, not very nice, and she came in completely unprepared.
Yeah.
She didn't have anything taped to the package. She didn't know how she was sending it. Then she wanted Katie to get her tape so that either she taped it or Katie taped it.
Yeah.
And Katie's being very patient up until a certain point. Mm-hmm. And then she was so sickly sweet.
Yes.
But like an assassin at the same time. Because she comes back and says to the lady, well, I looked around for tape and it's $4 a roll. So if you'd like to purchase one, you can. And this lady was, I think she said bullshit. Or did she say BS?
She said BS.
She's like, this is total BS. I need this taped to the package. And then Katie's like, well, we are a shipping service, not a packing service. So if you'd like to take your package home and prepare it for shipment and bring it back, you can do that. Or if you'd like to prepare it here, tape is $4. And then we get called next to Katie, to the clerk, Susie, and we're putting up all of our stuff that we're mailing out for Christmas. And Susie's listening and we're listening, and Susie's getting distracted, so she's like,
like, oh wait, I think I missed one, or this isn't adding up. This isn't, wait, hold on, what's going on? And I said, I'm like, I know you're distracted. We are too. We're trying to listen too. I get it. So just take your time. It's fine.
So it ended up that the woman didn't take her package back. I don't know how she got the labels on. I don't know what she did.
I don't think she did. I thought she left.
Did she leave?
I thought she left. I did not see.
Because then she had more questions.
Oh, you're right. Actually, we left. We left before this result. Why did we leave?
I don't know. But we got in the car and we're like, this is hilarious. This, this should be a show because I would watch this.
I should have told Susie, we need stamps. We need tape. We need whatever. Until this conversation finished.
No, you can't ask for tape.
I know. Well, I would have paid for the tape. I would have bought like $100 worth of stamps.
Actually, we probably would have got the tape for free.
Yeah.
But this mean lady wasn't getting anything for free.
No.
So then we left and we went into a local chocolate place around here called Gertrude Hawk. And we were getting chocolate for Christmas. And the guy behind the counter with this other lady started talking about somebody in their office who was getting divorced or something.
Yeah.
And we're like, who's this?
Yeah.
He was talking about prenups and.
Yes.
It was just funny.
There's just shit going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go. But no, I personally think that the Postal Service is a good one because you have the feud, I'm sure, with the clerks and the actual mail carriers. You know that there's probably something there that they don't like each other. And you just kind of have that customer interaction like of a restaurant, but it's not totally a restaurant. It's all good. It would all be perfect.
I really don't care what store. I think department stores are really good too. I mean, like the picture you sent me about Kohl's. Yeah. I know that people talk shit about their coworkers. I just think it could be fascinating. And I really would like to have a meeting with Andy Cohen to set up some sort of, brainstorming session on how we get this going.
Right. Going Postal, coming to you in 2027.
Let's talk about this week's episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We're going to start with Kathy Hilton planning a girls' trip to Oceanside and hand-delivering the invitations that are in personalized luggage.
Oh, my God. How lovely is that, though?
I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah.
The thing is those suitcases literally wouldn't fit one person's hat.
No, not with these women.
No. Even for a night.
I love, though, that she said that she wanted to hand deliver them, though, just because she wanted to save on shipping. I'm like, lady, you have more money than anybody, but you're like, I'm going to save on shipping.
That's why she has more money than anybody.
Good point.
And did you notice that she had all these pillows in the car with her?
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
I thought that she was going to give those pillows to everyone. No, they were for her while she was driving.
Well, there were a lot of them, though.
There were a lot. It was weird.
Like a comfort thing? Like, does her back bother her where she's like, I need to have pillow? But they all had, like, very nice pillowcases on, too, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
It was weird. It was really funny.
So she's in the car with her brand manager, Carol. And as they're driving to the first house, she says to Carol, don't talk to me for a minute. I'm praying.
Like praying that you don't die in a car accident? Or what are you praying about? Praying that you find the directions? Praying that you know where you're going? That the car works? I don't, just everything in general?
I will say we have a thing where when we're going on a road trip that I say a quick prayer and I'm like, Lord, just let us get there safe and sound. And I say, no car problems, no passenger problems.
Yeah, it's so offensive. So like the driver is the problem here, not the passenger. The passenger is a princess and doesn't do anything wrong.
I know, I say it every time and you're like, oh God. I will say when we were watching this, you said something interesting to me that Kathy reminds you of Sonia.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
Well, what I meant by that is because, like, she had said she wanted to save on shipping, so she was going to go and hand deliver them. And it reminds me of Sonia in that personality where she would be, like, frugal and want to save money. However, the difference is that Sonia actually needed to save money because she really was poor. Kathy doesn't have to, but it's, that same energy going on there.
Yeah, okay. I get it. So the contents of the personalized luggage had Red Bull, a personalized towel, that bucket hat that she gave everybody a different one,
right,
and self-tanner lotion.
I feel like it was basically just like what Kathy would like in like a gift.
Or what she was wearing.
Right, what she was wearing. Yeah, I know. I love that you would wear the gift that you're giving to somebody else. Like,
I know.
you just wear it because you like it. It's
This
just
is
really
so fabulous. I want you to have it too.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure I felt that way about those hats. But
Right, the coffee filter hat.
So I had posted Kathy Hilton wearing the gifts she's giving away, invitations and luggage, Lord. And we got a response from @AndyL727.bluesky that said, "She's such a weirdo. I love it." And it had me thinking, do you think Kathy's weird because that's her personality? Or do you think she comes off a bit performative because she wants to seem quirky?
I think it is 100% her personality. Like, without a doubt.
Yeah?
Yes. Because she's on the show. She doesn't need the money. There's no reason why she has to keep,
Perpetuating.
Yeah,
right?
you don't need a shtick because you have all this money. So you don't need to. And I just think that having Kyle on the show as her sister, she kind of validates all those things. Like, yeah, this is Kathy. Like,
It's the way she talks.
this is the way.
it's
Yeah. Like the whole conversation about her talking in shorthand.
That was so funny.
That is one of my favorite moments ever on like Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Because Kyle's impersonation of Kathy in talking in shorthand is exactly what she sounds like. It was so funny. So, and Kyle would know. She grew up with her.
Right.
So that's why I think this is to be expected.
Well, Kathy gets to Kyle's house and they start talking about the trip and the current state of Kyle and Dorit's friendship. And Kathy said something I thought was interesting, which was that the stuff with Dorit might not have bothered Kyle 3 years ago, but because of the state of her marriage, it is. And she called Kyle hypersensitive and that everything Dorit did rubbed her the wrong way. What do you think about that?
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she is hypersensitive right now, too. I don't think it would have bothered her because normally, I don't know, Kyle's been on the show a long, long time, and I don't think that she would get affected by something that small, and especially from Dorit, too. Like,
Well,
being
Kyle's
with their
saying
friends.
that a bunch of small things add up to one large thing.
Yeah, and that's what Dorit says, too, which makes me think, I don't know, you're both saying the exact same thing, actually.
So this segues into a scene with Mauricio and Kyle. Mo comes over to the house and they're talking and he seems really happy. Which, I don't know. It's just the opposite vibe of Kyle.
Yeah.
And he seems to be doing well and she really seems to be struggling. And for me, I think the reason that Kyle is struggling is because she doesn't necessarily want this divorce, but she knows she has to have it. I do think there are rumors that he cheated, and I think those are true.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Kyle wanted her family split up. I don't think she can trust him. And at that point, that's why you're separating.
Yeah.
And so I just think she's incredibly sad. This is not what she wanted. She wanted her family together.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to stay married. But when that trust is gone, your marriage is done. And she's just having a really hard time accepting that. So I made a post about this saying, it seems like Dorit and Kyle are in a bit of denial that anything but divorce is going to happen with their marriages. And I got 2 replies. The first is from @AshleyOG.bluesky, who said, Mo has definitely come to the realization that the marriage is over. Last season, it seemed like he was wanting to fix it. Definitely not the same vibe this season. He was smiling big, talking about his place. At this point, they've been separated over a year. Her being in denial about the divorce confuses me. So thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't watch last season.
Right.
So I would think probably in the beginning, yes, you're probably going to want to make it work and keep trying. And then once you get your own apartment and you're by yourself, and then you're like, oh, well, this is not
Well,
that bad.
Kyle said no dogs, no responsibilities, no anything. So,
Right.
yeah, who wouldn't love that? We got another post from our bestie, Mikey. He's at sfij.bluesky, who said, totally. They're probably taking their frustration with their husbands out on each other to an extent.
Yeah.
You think so?
I do. I think that Dorit's going through a lot with PK. I mean, did you hear that he was an alcoholic? Did you know?
Yeah, only 50 times.
So there would be that. Then Kyle is still kind of in her mind thinking that they're still separated and not divorcing.
And there's
a
chance.
And that there's yeah.
Yeah.
So she's clearly not on the same wavelength at all. And I think that probably they're taking it out on each other a little bit. They, for some reason, won't talk to each other, which is weird because you're actually both going through the same thing at the same time. You would think that that would be a decent sounding board,
right?
But they're actually going the opposite way.
Yeah, neither feels supported by the other. So,
which I don't know. I mean, I guess I think that Dorit wants to be heard by Kyle, and Kyle seems to want to have Dorit hear her, but they're not really hearing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dorit seems really pissed.
Oh, she is angry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So clearly, Kyle, you're doing something where you're not hearing her.
Right.
And, like, just hear her and apologize then, instead of being like, there were other little things.
Kyle said to Kathy, I was mad at her. I was hurt at her. And now she's turned this around to come up with all these reasons why she's the person that's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle doesn't think she's done anything.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know that they're going to talk on the beach about it too. So, because Kyle's reasons were stupid, in my opinion.
Like
the thing about Teddy. Why on earth would Dorit be? Why are you mad at Dorit for something about Teddy? She wasn't even there.
And I know it's a small thing, and Kyle said it was one small thing, but I don't need to defend anybody that I don't want to. So,
and who's not in front of me either. She's not even here. And the question was to you.
Yeah, I know. Excellent point. Then we jump to a clip with all the women packing for the Oceanside trip, and Jennifer Tilly packs poker chips, sage, and holy water.
She's so weird.
She's so weird. The holy water does not work. Spoiler alert. But I like her. I think she's quirky and funny.
I like her too. She brings a lightness.
Yeah.
To something that could be dark.
Right. I would like to hang out with her.
She'd be fun to hang out with.
I think fun. So. There's some people who could get annoying, possibly Sutton. But Jennifer, I've said it last week, I think Jennifer is the better version of Sutton.
Well, I get that because Jennifer would be the yes girl and Sutton would be the no girl. Like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to. And Jennifer would be like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, good point. So the women all have lunch on the beach and it's beautiful. The setup is really pretty. And Bose and Dorit start talking about her separation from PK. And Dorit is upset that he got an apartment without telling her. Mm-hmm. And I thought Bose very delicately kind of said, does he need to tell you?
Yeah.
Like, you seem to think that you're still this unit. Mm-hmm. And I know you're trying to protect your kids. This seems like a backfire to me. I'm sorry, how they're going to find out. You can't keep this from them for like 2 years.
Well, and there's a public message out there too. You don't think
right.
That
and what difference does it make if your daughter's 8 or if she's 10?
I don't know. It just seems weird because you don't think that they're going to pick up on the vibe. Like, hey, where's Dad?
He's never here.
Never there. Just I don't know. I think that you're not hiding it well.
And I don't know if it's necessary for him to tell her that. He has moved on a lot quicker than Dorit has.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, I don't want to talk to you 5 times a day anymore. And that's where I think Dorit's kind of living in denial like Kyle too. Like, did you not think this was what was going to happen? Or
right. Because they always talk about, well, we're going to be different. we're going to be, you know,
we're going to be pals.
Right. Yeah. No, that really doesn't happen.
Well, it's interesting in the confessional with Jennifer, she tells us that she was married to Sam Simon, who was the creator of The Simpsons, which I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And in their divorce, she got a piece of the show in her settlement. And I kind of Googled it. It looks like she got at least 25% ownership of the show.
That's insane.
Because I don't know what season The Simpsons are on.
Like 40 something? Maybe even higher?
I mean,
it's ridiculous. And not only does she own part of The Simpsons, but The Simpsons was under the 21st Century Fox brand there. Mm-hmm. Disney bought that. So now that streams on Disney Plus and everything like that. Anything that was under that brand. So, yeah, she's doing well.
Wow. That's awesome. So he apparently passed away from colon cancer.
Yeah.
After they had divorced. But you read that he donated his entire fortune to charity.
Yeah, I did read that, which I thought, wow.
How impressive.
I know.
I mean, he must not have had any children. And I don't think he had any with Jennifer.
No.
So do some good with it.
I know. And I don't know what charity, what it was for. Maybe cancer probably would make sense. But no, I read that and I just thought, wow, that's great.
You know, you'd think Dorit and Kyle would be all over Sutton and Jennifer for tips on how to get the most out of your divorce. Like, Kyle seems a bit,
he wouldn't do that to me.
Defensive?
Yes, defensive is a good one. Yeah.
And Dorit's not all that receptive either. She's just talking to Bose, nobody else.
Right.
So, like...
Well, in Dorit's defense, I guess, I don't know that the rest of the women are that big of her fan right now.
And
so,
all that supportive.
And yeah, so I don't really know. But it just seems like this keeps popping up, like these divorce things on different shows. Like on Potomac, there was Stacy who's like, oh, well, we're going to be different. We're not, like, she was defensive at first, too. Like, why are you talking? And then she had her mediation, was like, there was shit I didn't know about. There was, so I don't know, maybe Kyle and Dorit will come around after they start getting in the thick of it here. And
yeah, after they get their first experience of something nasty.
Yeah.
Because it will happen.
Yeah. I don't doubt it, especially with those two.
So the women play a couple games on the beach after lunch, but I had to say I laughed really hard at Duck, Duck, Goose.
Like what?
I mean, when is the last time, first of all, that you've even heard the game being mentioned in, like, conversation?
Right, yeah.
And then it's like something you guys played in, like, elementary school.
I know, and like young grade, like kindergarten grade, not even fifth grade probably anymore. Like really, really young.
Well, it was also the second time that Dorit fell flat on her face.
Oh my God, Dorit! Like, just pull up your pants or hold them or something. At this point, you're saying how competitive you are. Just take the pants off then, because
she had a swimsuit on.
Right, exactly. Just because. Or I don't know. She said it was the pants. Maybe it's because she can't run. It could be one or the other.
Could be. You can't be good in everything. So the episode ends with the women at dinner, and Dorit and Kyle start getting into things again. And Kyle mentions a couple reasons, small reasons, she said, why she has an issue with Dorit right now. Mm-hmm. And she said, first, that Dorit didn't stick up for Teddy. We saw the flashback clip at BravoCon. And you and I both kind of groaned, like, what? This is dumb.
Yeah, it's a non-issue.
Then she said the kicker for her was that Dorit showed her private text to Erica. Mm-hmm. I can get that. I understand that a little bit.
I can understand that. The only thing is, though, is that, of course, you'd be mad that somebody showed that when you sent it to her right before the reunion. That's my problem, though.
Yeah, that's
fair. That it was literally the day before. Why else would you send that to her if you're basically not like, hey, let's not talk about this here and let's do it later? Like, no, we're going to talk about it now. Like, what? I mean, I get why Dorit would feel a bit manipulated.
Maybe Dorit shouldn't have shown it on camera.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because then nobody would have known.
Right.
But to show it on camera and then Bravo literally have a screenshot of it to post. Maybe that's kind of,
sure,
the issue. I will say, if I were Erica, I would have been so pissed that Dorit kept bringing me into it.
Yes, I know.
Fight your own battles. I'm friends with Kyle, too. I mean, it did not escape my attention that Kyle looked over at Erica and was like, oh, really?
Right.
You think this, too?
Yes.
And that's not fair.
It isn't fair. And I will say, though, too, we watched the after show, the Beverly Hills after show. And Erica did actually say, she was paired with Kyle. Mm-hmm. And she did say something, though, where she was like, I do think that you're overreacting here. I do
on the BravoCon thing.
On the BravoCon thing. I don't think that's an issue at all.
Yeah, she did say that. She watched it back and thought it was a joke. It was clearly a joke. Mm-hmm. So she's rubbing you the wrong way because of other things, and you're adding that in.
Yeah. But yeah, I know. I'd be like, Dorit, shut up. You've mentioned me twice now.
Yeah.
Like, do not. I'm actually shocked that she didn't say anything, just knowing Erica.
Right.
I mean,
have you come around on Erica? Because I have.
Yeah, I love her. Like, I'm not even just like her. Like, I am very much like
pro Erica
yes,
now.
I am.
Yeah, I don't. It's so funny how we go up and down. I always tell you that I start over each season with people.
Yeah.
Aside from my absolute faves that I'm like all the time, mm-hmm. I try to start over because one season you bug the shit out of me, and the next season maybe you don't. Yeah. And Erica's one of those.
I know.
Well, the whole episode ends with another to be continued. It's Kyle and Dorit fighting at the table. So that's what it's going to start mm-hmm. with. And there wasn't really a sneak peek. It's just wait till next week.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm getting kind of sick of like because Kyle's comeback to Dorit was, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth type deal just so you can listen. Right. And it's like, I know Dorit's long-winded. I get it. But if that's like her only thing, then we got to have some new material here that she's not long-winded. Right. I get it.
Right.
But hopefully this conversation will wrap up at this dinner, but it's going to be a season-long thing, I'm sure.
And that's what I don't want.
Yeah.
I was really hoping it wasn't going to be, but when we did watch the after show, it's very obvious that they're still not talking. So. Mm-hmm.
This week on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, we open with Meredith and her family and team preparing for her bat mitzvah. And this is actually the first time that we see her whole family. Like, her oldest son, Reed, flew in from New York, which I didn't actually know she had an oldest son.
Yeah, I didn't remember there being 3 kids.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's our first time seeing him, and then her mom was there too, and all that.
Yeah. They're a really good-looking family.
Yeah, I know. I thought so too. When they were all outside taking pictures and photos, I was like, wow, all of these very photogenic, very good looking. Yeah. What I also think is super funny is when all the women are kind of on the outs with each other, they just all kind of turn to Brittany as somebody just to talk to. They don't really like her. Nobody really is friends with her, but she's just like a body.
She's
basically
being used.
Oh,
yes.
100%.
Yeah, it is funny.
And what's so funny, though, is because Whitney doesn't really quite know who to talk to at this point. So Brittany shows Whitney her new nails, and Lisa calls them bridge and tunnel.
Which I had to look up.
Yeah.
And apparently it's kind of from New York City and New Jersey mm-hmm. because Lisa's originally from New York City. So it was in reference to people from New Jersey coming into the city and traveling over the bridge through the tunnel.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like you're low class, but you want to be high class.
That's so funny. This is just one of the quotes from Lisa that we'll talk about from the episode because mm-hmm. she had a lot.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah, this episode in particular, she got like four good one-liners in there.
So we'll keep track. Ding!
Yes, this is one. So Brittany's talking to Maylee and Bronwyn about Angie because Brittany is still upset about the doing 3 guys comment from Mary's breakfast at Tiffany's lunch. Mm-hmm. And Brittany then proceeds to say, I really think that if she's accusing me of that, then it's probably because that's what she's doing with Sean. What? I don't understand her comment, but what do you think about Brittany's comment?
Well, first, I'm pro doing 3 guys. If that's what you want to do it. I don't care. Saying that it had anything to do with Sean, I don't get. Are you saying that she's cheating in her marriage?
Yeah, or are you saying that they're having threesomes? I don't get it.
That I didn't get either. It didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But she's offended because her religion says you can't do anything.
Mm-hmm. I just love that she's so offended by this, though, too, because it's like they've talked about her as a mom and like being a bad mom and stuff like that, too. And it's like, I can take that. I can totally take that.
Oh, my God.
But, like, you can't say I'm doing 3 guys. You can't say,
That is hilarious. Yeah. She's not offended that you would call her a bad mother. She's offended that you'd call her a slut.
Exactly.
Oh, dear.
So Bronwyn also adds in this conversation that she thinks Angie is a bit performative when she's in a big group and always kind of picks one person to call out. Do you think that's a fair statement?
I do. However, I find Angie funny and interesting. So I think there's kind of a difference where some are performative and it's off-putting because it's like you're just thirsty and, just want camera time. I think Angie's performative because she wants to get reactions and she, wants to stir stuff up.
Yeah.
So, and I think she believes what she's saying.
Yeah, I think that performative might not be a bad word. I don't think she's rehearsed at all. Like, I don't think she came in thinking that she was going to tell Brittany that she has high body count hair.
No, that was definitely original.
Definitely, yes, original. There are some that I think can fall under performative where you've had something in your head that you were going to say before.
Sure.
So rehearsed, no. Performative, maybe a little bit. And Angie will back up this claim later in the episode because she does pick somebody to attack, and it will be Brittany.
Yeah. Well, give her an Oscar.
So everyone moves inside, and the bat mitzvah starts, and Mary ends up coming. They were all kind of wondering if she was going to because she wasn't showing up for the cocktail hour before. So they're wondering, is she going to show up? And she does. And she shows up in the best possible way.
God.
And the whole room literally is just these large windows. So you're going to see if anybody passes by at any point. So you just see Mary walking around the outside of the building trying to get in. And she's trying to look through the window to try to see in, to see what's going on. Where is everybody? And she doesn't know, obviously, that everybody on the inside can see her.
She was so late, too, because at this point, the rabbi's getting up there to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, again, why are you this late, though? Like, you were late to meet Meredith, too, and now you're late to this, so clearly you have a problem with being late.
Yeah.
So the rabbi is, she's talking, she's praying, and just literally in every window, you can see her. And everybody, Heather, her daughter, and Brittany are looking at Mary, and I'm just like, somebody go get her.
Yeah.
What? Like, just somebody get up out of your seat quietly, go and just say, open the door.
Because it was so distracting.
Yes, that's why.
And help out a girl. Like, do her a solid and go get her.
So what would you do if you were in Mary's situation and showed up late? Like, how would you?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Okay.
I would not show up that late. I would not. And I would have probably quietly gotten up and gone and gotten her.
Well, that was going to be my next question, was if you were the one sitting there.
Yes, I would have. Especially if I was there by myself, I would have gone and gotten her. Maybe not if I was like close to the front or something, but I think anybody who was towards the back should have gotten up and just gone and gotten her.
I know. And then Mary decides to come in after she finally gets the door. She comes in and then is like, excuse me, Excuse me. Like, just stand in the back then. You're like, oh my God, you've just caused an entire scene.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Well, the good news is, though, is that Meredith and Mary end up talking about their issue. They both apologize to each other and they hug it out. So I think Mary showing up, even if it was super late, was important to Meredith. And I'm glad that she didn't miss it entirely.
I completely agree. I don't think Mary wanted to go. I don't think she's all that great in social situations.
Yeah.
But I think it was taking a huge step forward and saying, look, I value our friendship. We may be fighting, but I still care.
Mm-hmm. Well, this was really the only constructive conversation we had the entire evening.
Which is good. We only need one.
Right. And this was it. You
Move
only
on
get
to
one.
the mess.
Yes. So we'll move on to Angie and Bronwyn. Bronwyn wants an apology from Angie. Angie doesn't really think she needs to give her one, and that she actually wants one from Bronwyn for twisting Angie's words.
Right.
So she doesn't even want to give her one and just wants one. It's insane.
Yeah.
So Angie says, does it make you feel good if I say I'm sorry I told you to shut the fuck up? And Bronwyn gets really pissed and just kind of wants to walk away.
Because
She's
that
just
was her
done.
apology.
Well,
Does
yeah.
it make you feel good? Like, what?
Like, do you think you apologized? Was that like... It's not an apology. It's all, as a matter of fact, it's actually very passive aggressive. It's like, okay, would it make you feel better if I do it? Because I don't mean it, but
Right.
I'll just give it to you.
Right. Then here, take it.
Right.
I don't know quite what Angie and Bronwyn's issues are with each other. It all seems so stupid. And I think they genuinely liked each other. But Angie can get a bit passive aggressive. And Bronwyn doesn't seem to be kind of rolling with it.
Yeah.
So they're both kind of having their own problems.
Right. I think Bronwyn doesn't seem to understand that there are some conversations that you'll want to share and some that you're not going to want to.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it's going to go. But it doesn't really end well. It just kind of ends with Todd coming to grab Bronwyn, and that's about it.
Oh, and then Angie saying, like, she's his biggest fan.
I know.
That was shady.
So once Bronwyn gets kind of done talking with Angie, we go back to Brittany because she can't talk to any of the other women. So, and Brittany's there. So that's who she's going to talk to. So Brittany says to Bronwyn, I want this friendship to last a hot minute. And then it cuts to Brittany in her confessional saying, yay, Bronwyn and I are friends.
Record scratch, because that lasts, less than a hot minute.
Right. And a hot minute really is all she got.
Yeah.
Because Angie, Lisa, Maylee, Bronwyn, and Brittany, they're all kind of start talking, and it gets to the topic of Angie calling Brittany a slut. And Angie denies it. And even Lisa's like, well, doing 3 guys isn't great. Like, it's kind of what you're getting at. Like,
Right.
You didn't use that word, but what does that imply?
Right.
So it's like, come on, Angie,
Yeah.
that was what you meant. So then Bronwyn decides that she's going to be messy, and she actually says that out loud, and then tells Angie that earlier today, Brittany said that Angie's a slut. And Bronwyn in her confessional says that she was sick of Brittany's shtick and decided to just completely out her. She didn't care.
I'm sorry. I laughed out loud so hard at this. Brittany will forever be the punching bag.
Always.
Nobody likes her.
No.
And so if I have to use you to have someone to talk to for 5 minutes, I will do that. But just know it means nothing.
Oh my God. It's just insane. It really was a hot minute.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Bronwyn said I'd given you 5. I didn't even give you a minute. So be lucky that I gave you 5 minutes. So you found a post on Blue Sky from this moment, and it was from @I'mWatchingBravo, who said Bronwyn doesn't understand that she needs alliances and she can't just constantly throw everybody under the bus. Does she honestly have any friends on the show? Her desire to be real is going to get rid of her spot on the show quick. Just fake apologize sometimes and move on.
I 1000% agree.
Yeah.
She keeps doing this for the sake of honesty, and she's alienating everyone. And sometimes, even though we're friends, we can talk harmless shit about each other.
Right.
And it can be something as simple as, Angie's bugging me today. I didn't like what she said about this, but, I'll get over it, but it hurt my feelings. Something like that. It's not, going in on someone's marriage or these deep personality flaws or something. It's just something that's bugging you for the moment that you're going to get over, and you don't feel a need to vent to that person. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's harmless. But I really do think that in the name of honesty, Bronwyn thinks that she's doing nothing wrong because she's telling the truth.
Right.
And it's just not necessary.
It isn't necessary because Whitney and Angie were kind of, had your back a bit here too, and you just really screwed them over. And it's not like the situation with Heather where Heather was like, kind of hung you out to dry, and you're like, well, no, you were there. We were all doing it. So it's not like you're defending yourself by saying what happened. You're just freely offering it up. And it's like, why? Why would you just freely give that information away? You don't have to, and you didn't need to.
And it just makes you look untrustworthy. Right. And I think she is. That's the thing. Yeah. I think if you told her something, she'd be a vault about it. Mm-hmm. But she likes to talk.
So after Bronwyn, like I said, outs Brittany completely that she called Angie a slut, Angie then says, I don't look like I have a high body count, and I don't dress like I have a high body count, and I don't wear my hair like I have a high body count. And Mary's face, it was just my face. I don't know when Mary entered the conversation, but she entered it at the right time and came over because, oh my God.
I feel like I heard her gasp. Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. She didn't let up.
No, she did not.
I mean, I think she called her hair pornish.
Yes, that was next. That followed. Oh my God. What's funny to me too is the fact that Angie had the comment kind of about her hair, like in her back pocket. It is very clear to me that they have talked about her hair before.
Well, she is a hairdresser.
Yeah, good point.
Right.
But it just seemed like it was very much like you're focused on her hair, and like you've mentioned this before or you've thought it before.
Well, she also made the comment, I'm not slut shaming her, I'm hair shaming her. And we're like, no. You said the three guys thing. It's all of it,
right. Yeah.
I will say, though, I think Brittany really took it hard. I mean, she's talking about your hair.
Well, I know. And that's why I think when Brittany left to cry, like literally walked off, Angie was like, she's crying? Like, why is she crying? Like, it was a Ramona, what did I say that was so mean?
Right.
Type deal. Like, why are you crying?
Well, I thought the tears were a lot.
Yeah.
Because, girl, you drink, you are dating lots of people. Does it mean you're having sex with them? No, but that's all you have to say. So, and if you are having sex with them, I don't care either.
Well, she's not having sex with Jared, I could tell you that, but...
No, Jared's having sex with everybody. Else. If she's not, she's the only one.
Exactly, right. So, yeah, Brittany walks off. She says, screw you. And then Lisa says, you just shamed her hair. Like, oh my God, you just shaved it. So another Lisa one-liner.
Ding.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I laughed out loud. It was so funny.
Yeah. But I mean, I think everybody thought that Angie went slightly too far after she walked off crying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's not the point. The point's not to make somebody cry.
No.
She thought she was going to fight back.
She didn't.
No,
she just folded.
Yeah, like a towel.
So Angie decides that she's like, okay, I'll go and I'll try to apologize to her. And Angie starts by saying, I love your hair to make things better. And Lisa, without skipping a beat, says, she doesn't, she's lying.
See, I didn't see that until we rewatched it with the captions on. Mm-hmm. That has to be a must. We have to watch these episodes with captions. Yeah. Because I missed so much, and I missed that, and that was glorious. Oh my God, I laughed.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Angie's like, oh my God, Lisa, like, are you kidding me? You're asking me to apologize to her, and I'm going to, and then you just literally throw me under the bus.
Because maybe your apology shouldn't be a lie. I like your hair.
Right,
Maybe
yeah.
it could have been, I went too far. I'm sorry about your hair. And then Lisa attacked her hair too.
Yes. Yes, Lisa did attack her hair. What happens first before that, though, is that Meredith gets fed up, I think, just hearing about that Brittany is crying and that, you know, I think she heard the word Angie made her cry,
Yeah.
and that was just like the, you know, alarm bells. So Meredith just is like, okay, I think I'm ready to kick somebody out now. I think maybe it was based on the fact that she had security there. She was ready to. So like, okay.
Why would you have security there?
I don't
That was
know.
another thing that didn't click until we rewatched it a second time.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, security at a bat mitzvah?
I don't know. I think that Meredith was not going to be the only person that got asked to leave an event this season. She was not going to have that be her thing. So I think she was like, well, I'm just going to have it here. And if the women do what I think they're going to do, which is fight, then I can, you know,
Toss someone.
I can exactly.
And it was just a bonus that it was Angie.
I know, right? Yeah, she got lucky with that one. So you had posted on Blue Sky body counts and porn hair. Bronwyn turning on Brittany in a hot second. I'm obsessed with this bat mitzvah. And you got a response back from at partwerewolf33.bluesky, who said it was pure chaos. The irony of Meredith being upset about being thrown out of an event to turn around and throw someone out of her event.
Right?
Perfect.
It didn't click till
yes.
I saw that post.
Right.
Like, oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
She was in tears when she thought Mary asked her to leave, and then took some immense pleasure out of getting rid of Angie, giving her the boot. So, yeah, that was interesting.
I know. That's why I thought that maybe she was kind of like waiting for it to at least have an out.
Could
And
have been.
Angie gave her one, and she was like, good, this cannot be my thing. So after Angie gets kicked out, Brittany is still just like kind of crying, moping, whatever you want to call it.
Still.
Being a crybaby. And Lisa is trying to console her in the best way that Lisa knows how, which is to try and help her by offering her
Some advice.
exactly, which she says, don't let her hurt your feelings. But you know what? You do need Karatae's Thermatique. Oh my God.
Don't let her hurt your feelings, but your hair is dry and frizzy, and you need to use some keratin treatment.
Yeah, it's a little brittle looking. Using the heat too much on it.
I don't know if Brittany at that point was even comprehending what she was saying to her, but girl, it was an insult.
Oh, it definitely was. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's so funny. Lisa, again, this was the other line too, where she had so many this episode.
I think she thinks she's being helpful.
Oh, 100%. Yes, she thought she was giving her some seriously sound advice.
It's what I use.
Yeah, that she would want to hear in that moment.
If you want your hair to look like mine, use this.
Yeah. Then Angie won't come for your hair.
Exactly.
If you just use this, like, let me help you. So after all of the Brittany stuff is over, Lisa kind of gives us a bit of an insight as to what's going to happen on next week's episode, which is that they're all going to Puerto Vallarta. And she kind of starts to explain the timeline of who hates who, which is good because we need kind of a mid-season review and timeline as to what's going on.
There have been a lot of people changing sides, a lot of fights. So, yeah, Lisa breaks it down.
So as of right now, this is where Lisa is. Meredith hates Angie. Bronwyn hates Angie. Angie hates Brittany, and I hate Whitney. I love that she added herself in.
I know. Oh, that was funny.
So that's where we are right now. So at the end of the episode, we do actually get a sneak peek, and it does show the women landing in Puerto Vallarta for their girls' trip and a dinner, which will, of course, have fighting.
A lot of fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, Lisa screams.
Let's talk in fact. Okay.
I can't wait. All right, let's talk about this week's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. This week's episode didn't really flow well for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because there were no necessarily group scenes anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it was all very much like this person's doing this thing. Then we have these two. The only two people I saw together were Ashley and Giselle. Everybody else, I think it was kind of like their own thing. Although Mia met up with Kiarna, but that was about it.
Right.
Like, there was no either group trip, group scene, group dinner, nothing.
Yeah, it was very fragmented.
Yeah.
But we're going to start with Giselle talking to her girls about her father's will, which was really kind of awful.
Yeah.
So apparently 2 days after her father had his brain surgery, his will was changed.
Mm-hmm.
And, or if he had a will, a new will was formed then.
Yeah.
It sounded like he didn't actually have a will, because Giselle made the comment, if there is no will in the state of Georgia, then it goes to the family.
Right. Yes.
So it sounded like maybe he didn't have a will.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 days after his brain surgery, Giselle was notified that her father signed a new will, leaving everything to we don't know who. She didn't mention it, or if she did, they didn't show us.
Right. Probably left it to the person who decided to make the change, because Giselle said that she was literally with her father.
Yes. She said, I was with him, so he couldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And he was in no condition to even hold a pen.
Right. Yeah. 2 days after you have surgery, nobody's,
Brain surgery.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is super shady. And we kind of did a little bit of digging, because I wasn't quite sure what the situation was with Giselle and her mother. Mm-hmm. It sounds like her parents are divorced. He remarried at one point. I don't know if he's still married to her.
Right.
Or if they divorced. Since it's not Giselle's mother, there wasn't any info on this new person either.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he had a girlfriend, a partner, or I don't know what.
Right.
You're welcome, everyone, for all that inside info.
We don't know.
We know nothing.
As a matter of fact, you might be more confused now than you were when we started.
Sorry.
So it's someone.
Yes. So it sounds like Giselle's fighting it.
Yeah.
And I didn't see any information on it now. I tried to look for something current, because, these are filmed months ago. And a lot of times the issues that they're having months ago have already been settled. Mm-hmm. I could not find anything on this. So
yeah, I couldn't either.
But I'm interested.
I know. I am too. I'm like, holy crap. Wow. I can't believe we waited till this late in the season here, I feel like, to mention this. This would have been like a first episode thing for me that I would have wanted to have known.
Yeah. So then we move on to a scene with Karen and Ray. It was... I can't with her. I swear I can't. It's not even funny, but I'm laughing. I swear it seemed like she was blaming Ray for her DUI.
It's a nervous laugh. It's not a,
Yes. She's like, I was so mad at you after my DUI. And I thought, what? Wait, why? What did Ray do?
Dude just wants to check his pool cleaner and, putts around. That's it. What are you mad at him about? I mean, I don't know.
They showed the flashback of when she said she was still in love with him and he said that he wasn't sure.
Well, yeah, that was a little harsh.
That's enough to be upset, but that was years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
seasons ago.
So we're going to hold on to that as one of the reasons that contributed to your DUI?
I know.
Come on.
Yeah. Which one did it contribute to? The first one or the second one?
Oh, Grace.
I'm sorry. We could take that out.
No, we're not going to take it out.
Never mind.
Well, I mean, she also said, that it was so close to Mother's Day and the accident happened in March. So I'm just tired of her not accepting that it was her poor decision
Right.
that caused this accident.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it. Like, if we're going to get another scene with Karen talking about her accident, it better be the scene that's like, oh my gosh, I really am taking full responsibility for this, that I could have hurt somebody else, I could have hurt myself, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Nope, it's Ray's fault.
No, yeah.
Damn it, Ray. God.
So then we have kind of a cute segment with Ashley and Giselle going speed dating. They're actually both meeting the same men, which I thought was kind of weird. Like, why is this 30-year-old Josh going on a speed date with Giselle, too?
Yeah, that didn't really make sense. Like, Josh isn't for Giselle. Like, the age discrepancy is just, you're not in the same place.
No,
at
isn't
all.
she like mid-50?
Yeah.
So she doesn't want this guy. Like, for anything serious.
Well, wait a minute, though. Weren't they both, Giselle and Ashley, going to be on Love Hotel, though?
Yes. I don't know if this was before or after, but...
Right. Was this like a test to see if, you know?
Oh.
Because I literally just thought of it right now, because I know that Ashley kind of hit it off with Josh.
Yeah.
And
he's in the trailer.
Yeah, and he's in the trailer. So then it made me think, well, they end up doing this other show too. What ends up happening?
And they
with that?
filmed that just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, you heard it here first.
Sorry.
Josh is axed.
Or Ashley was like, I have to do this show because I signed a commitment, but, you know, I'll be back for you.
You know what? That happens all the time.
Oh, it does. Oh, yeah.
We see it on shows like The Bachelor and all these dating shows where they're like, babe, I'll be back. Got a job to do. If I
what you have
win,
to do.
yeah. If I win, I bring back some money and it's you and me.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I fall in love.
And you get nothing.
You get to watch me on TV making out and having sex with somebody.
And publicly humiliate you.
Yeah.
So, you know.
It's all good. Win-win. So Ashley actually does choose Josh. And we see them go on a first date. And he mentions that he had thyroid cancer at age 28.
That's insane. That's so young, you know, to have to deal with that.
But he did, and he's in remission, so that's all good. But we don't know what happens with him and Ashley. Or maybe we do.
I don't know. I mean, it would be weird to me that they would put him in the trailer if they weren't together for at least a decent period of time. Because why else would they do that?
Right.
But I don't know.
Then we get to the most awkward part of the entire episode, which is always Mia and Gordon.
Yeah.
They have their kids there, and they're kind of baking cookies. And she apparently tells Jeremiah for the first time. Oh my God. This poor boy. She thinks he's aware that they're getting divorced. He's like, you just dropped a bomb on me because I did not know.
I know. Like, what's happening? Huh? Like, you literally did not seem to have a clue.
Didn't I tell you?
God.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
So, poor kid did not know.
Nope.
And so they're talking about what happens in a marriage, what happens in a divorce. And Gordon comes over because he's not there in the beginning, but he comes over and Mia's like, oh, I'm just telling them all that, you know, we're splitting up. And her daughter kind of goes to Gordon on the side and is like, I don't want mommy marrying Ink.
Yikes. I mean, I don't know why she would say that. Well, you want to know, maybe it's because she just found out that they weren't actually together. So that could be it.
Oh, God. This is so uncomfortable Maybe that's why I'm laughing so much, because this entire scene, I was sitting here thinking, why am I seeing this?
I know.
Why is this on TV?
Yeah, I can't imagine being a camera guy in this situation.
Oh my God, that
like
poor
being
guy.
inside the room with them, because I don't even like watching it. I'm uncomfortable. Like I wanted to leave the room while the
felt
TV
like
was
this
on.
is none of my business.
Yeah, I don't need to be here. I'm okay. This is something that I don't need to know, and I'm okay not knowing.
Right? I mean, I get that they're getting divorced, so fine, talk about it. You do not need to air your conversations when you tell your kids for the first time that mommy and daddy are separating. Like, that's kind of crossing the line for me into too much information.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the open book here, but it's okay. I don't need to. I don't need to know what's going on. I can just, watch you fight with the other women, and that's good for me. This is a lot.
Yeah. I feel like Jeremiah, like, what? Whoa.
I know. What's going on? God. I can't believe she said that, though. Like literally, oh, did I not mention? Like, you weren't aware?
So we get to the sneak peek and we see that Karen is throwing some sort of love party.
Yeah, with mermaids. Love Lagoon.
Yeah, which I thought was hilarious because 5 minutes ago she hated Ray.
Maybe she thinks the party will make her like it more.
I don't know. God, the show's all over the place. These women are all over the place.
It really is. But we get mermaids again, though. I love a show. I love when a Housewives show has mermaids come out as entertainment.
Throwback to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and that weird mermaid that was having like some sort of spasm.
The OG mermaid.
They should have a class on that.
A mermaid class?
How to be a mermaid.
I bet you they do.
Really?
No, I'm actually not kidding either.
Wow. I'll have to Google that later.
I know, I bet you they do, yeah.
Well, we see all the women there, and Ashley brought Josh.
Yeah, making his way into the group already.
I know, that was 3 days prior or something. I mean, it was like quick.
Yeah.
But okay, hey, whatever. You know who showed up that wasn't invited?
Yeah, Jacqueline.
Who shows up with 8 balloons.
Yes, for Karen's 8 citations.
And then promptly gets thrown out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting for that. Oh, God. I think Jacqueline is the Brittany of Salt Lake City.
That is a great comparison.
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Both are each show's punching bag. Nobody seems to like them. They are used all the time and then just thrown away.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah.
Every show needs a punching bag.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for listening to episode 30 of Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram, Threads, or Blue Sky at Nice-ish Podcast or at LoveCindyC. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thank you for listening and have a nice-ish day.